Hey, what's going on, YouTube? How y'all doing tonight? Um, I know it's a little odd, a Sunday evening stream. The main reason why I stream these now is because my upload speed is pretty horrible, it seems. And I shoot a 30-minute, 40-minute long video. It takes almost a day and a half to upload. So this is the way I'm going to do these. Hey, 13 people. Hey, Alien Base. Hey, Charles. How you guys doing? So yeah, I figured this is probably the best way to roll with these. Over the last few months, 3 months, 4 months, it's been a long time since I've done a collection update. I have amassed not bragging, but I have amassed a shit ton of stuff. It's part of the collector sickness. Hey, Jurgen, what's up, man? Amassed a shit ton of stuff. This isn't even a fraction of it, but the problem with amassing so much stuff is you tend to listen to things once or twice and not really fully absorb it. But it's a sickness, so we keep turning along and buying and buying and buying and buying because it feels good when that stuff arrives in the mailbox, doesn't it feel good? Hey, Mitch, how's it going? So yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight, and I wanted to start off by going over some VCLT stuff that I've received over the last few months by some insanely generous people. So that's where we're going to start. Hey, Kobe. Hey, Phil. So yeah, that's where we're going to start. First up, my buddy Death Lance Rogers, great guy. I've known him forever. He's like a brother. I haven't seen him in a while, unfortunately, due to kids and life getting in the way. But he was watching a stream one night and heard that I had not had this new Mortiferum yet, so he picked me up a copy of this is preserved in Torment. Awesome cover. I don't know why they went with that kind of typical font, but anyway, this is a really good album. I think these guys are Canadian. I don't know for sure, but on Profound Lore. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Rick. They all choked up. This band, to me, I think I like the debut a little bit better, but this is a good album. And, I put this on and I can't help but hear Disma. These guys remind me big time of Disma. Minus the potential sketch, I suppose. But I think if you were going to compare these two, put them side by side, you could tell Mortiferum is definitely in the same wheelhouse as hey, what's going on, everybody? Jake, Glenn, Charles again. I'm going to try to interact with you guys, but Portland band, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Hey, Ben. This is good stuff. They remind me of Disma, and I a few times I've listened to it, I can't really shake it, but it's still really good stuff. Again, I think I prefer the debut, but I have not played them back to back because it's kind of that doomy, sludgy death metal stuff that I got to be in the mood for, and I would imagine two of these back to back would not be that much fun. But I do enjoy the stuff. Thank you so much, Lance, for sending this to me. It's killer. Appreciate it. My buddy Zoller, a lot of stuff Zoller has sent me over the last year, but this is a recent. He thought I would like this band. This band is on Metal Blade. They're Ioton, Access All Worlds. I knew nothing about this band. I read up online and people are comparing them to Enslaved. And putting this on, I'm thinking, yeah, enslaved, until I listened to it a few times and realized that there's a huge Borknagar, middle era Borknagar influence on this stuff. This is really good. The singer is everywhere from, blackened screams to more triumphant style singing. The riffs on this are really great. As the first couple tracks were good, but the more I listen to it, the deeper in, like third and fourth song, the layering gets really, really advanced, and the songwriting, it's really good. I was quite impressed with this album, to be honest. I've listened to it a good 4 or 5 times. Really catchy. The cover's not really picking up that great on the camera. There we go. So yeah, thanks, Craig. This has been a fun listen for sure. Again, if you like the Wintersorg era Borknagar, but I'm not a big Wintersorg vocal style fan, but this guy does not sound like Wintersorg, just the style of the music, I guess. But yeah, what does Rick say here? I'll try to share these as we go, folks. Yeah, I mean, I just got this like a month ago, so it was not gonna. I mean, I didn't do a list anyway. I did not. Hey Tim, I did not do a top 10 list this year because I haven't really started getting into the last year's stuff until recently, and it wouldn't have been a very educated list. But thank you very much, Craig. Um, Next, Dave Rao from Minneapolis got a hold of me, wanted to send me a couple things. And thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it. He says he enjoys the Heavy Metallurgy show and just wanted to give back a little bit. And you know what? That's very kind of you. You certainly didn't have to do that. He sent a Nocturnal CD by the band is Nocturnal. The name of the album is Serpent Death. Listened to this a couple times. Don't know where these guys are from. Sorry, I should have taken notes, but I would have had a whole ream of paper of notes because I've got so much shit here to go through. Invoker's vocals. Her vocal style is very yelled style. This is kind of a black and thrash attack, leaning more towards old school thrash with just a little bit of blackness added to it. Yeah, Dave is the man. Very kind of him. This is a really good CD if you're into the thrashy black stuff. Is it as good as R Noir? Probably not, but and her vocals, she really takes it really primitive. It's not like she's trying to be like a black metal screamer. She's kind of doing more guttural shouting style. Kind of sounds Brazilian to me, the way she's projecting and going for that more barbaric tone, but it's cool. It's a cool album. I'll definitely be spinning this a little bit more. Good stuff. He also sent, I don't know where these guys are from either. This is Oath with Legion. This is a very weird, but very cool, like traditional metal, new wave of British heavy metal, kind of a weird concoction. Hey, Nick, how's it going, man? Mix of stuff. Really organic sounding. I like the cover of this. It's very cool. A Gustav Dorr cover, obviously. Art mixed around a little bit. I almost said masturbated. But this is I've only listened to this once. I need to get back into it. Like I said, traditional metal with a little bit of new wave of British heavy metal spin to it. It's a very organic, atmospheric tone. The music, it's like a 4-song EP. Looks like it's one guy. Yep. Oath is Stephen Waddell. Vocals, guitars, bass, program, drums. You know what? I was doing other stuff when I was listening to it, so I did not notice the programming. So it must have been done in a suitable manner. But good stuff. If you're into the traditional metal stuff, check this out. I will be spinning this more closely as time goes on. Thank you very much, Dave. You're too kind. Next up is Alexander Fintonis, which some of you will know from the chats. He's in our chat often. He's got a Facebook page, but he does not have a channel. I've tried to get him to do so, but he seems to not be that interested in doing so, which, it's not for everybody. I get it. He sent me a package here a couple weeks ago. This is the main thing in it. This is the main reason he was sending a package. This is Cities Annihilation Absolute. It's got AJ Pero who went on to be in Twisted Sister on drums. Who else is on here? I don't recognize the other dudes, to be honest, but it's pretty good. East Coast heavy metal, kind of street metal, I guess you would call this. It's aggressive, well-written songs. I mean, is it super over-the-top bombastic? Take note. No, it's kind of stays in its own lane. It's kind of dated sounding, but I came from those dates. So this has been a fun record. Listened to it a couple times. Good, catchy stuff. It's got AJ Pero in it. Not that he writes any of the music, but you think of East Coast popular bands, Twisted Sister. I'm sure they inspired a whole bunch of people to sound like them. This does not sound like Twisted Sister, nor does it sound like Overkill. They just, like I said, they kind of stay in their own lane. Aggressive street metal, I guess you could say. Good stuff. No ballads. Good stuff. He also sent, I'm saying good stuff a lot. He sent 2 Sabaton CDs. He knows I'm a fan. The Last Stand I already have. I'm going to pass that along to probably my bassist. And I have not heard this one, The Art of War. I have not spun it yet, but I will. What year did this come out? Oh, there's stickers all over it. I can't. Oh, it's early. It's got Swedish pagans on it. Very cool though. Again, I didn't have this. Thank you so much, Alex. I will definitely be checking this out and enjoying it. I'm a big Sabaton fan. I know that's sacrilegious to say in some circles, but I dig him. You know, he does look like D. Schneider on the front. True that. And hey, Rot guy. Happy Sunday. Next up, our own Aaron, the metal theologian, sent me a little care package the other day. He heard that I did not have this record and thought it was sacrilegious. So he decided to send this to me, which, holy crap, what a kind gift. This record goes for some money online, and it's in pretty damn good shape too. Warlords Deliver Us. This is the 83 pressing on Metal Blade. I think the reissues later on, the more modern reissues had Mrs. Victoria and some bonus tracks on it. But this is an awesome band. If you're into sorry, I mean no, but they should have, exactly. They should have. What was I saying? East Coast, I believe that's where this band from. Midwest, maybe. I don't know exactly where these guys came from, to be completely honest. But if you're a fan of early Fates Warning, you can definitely lump these guys in with that crowd, that whole scene. Super atmospheric, excellent traditional metal. This is a classic. Deliver Us is a classic. Not a bad song on here. Deliver Us from Evil, Lucifer's Hammer, Child of the Damned. What a great fucking song. Penny for a Poor Man. Holy shit. Amazing harmonies, amazing musicianship. Awesome album. And he also sent, apparently, some time ago, he released, he liked this band Madhouse. He put out this album, First Damage. This is like a demo on his own label, Beer and Jesus Records, which I hear, I'm hoping, he's got some copies of this left. And I've been trying to encourage him to open up a Bandcamp page and actually try to sell some of them, because, you know, he's got a handful of them left after having them for years. But I don't know where these guys came from. This is a demo. Again, this is real rough sounding metal. There's a bit of a punk edge to it, if I remember right. I've listened to it once. I will listen to it again before I file it away. But 8 songs, lengthy. I think there's 2 demos, each one on each side on this. I might be talking out my ass, but oh, okay, does not. Okay, I'm wrong then. That's weird. I thought it did, but I obviously I don't have it. Germany, there you go. Jürgen would know more about this than I do, other than I listened to it and I enjoyed it. It's rough and tumble type metal, with a little bit of a punk edge. Not like, when I say punk, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It's very much a metal band, but they're kind of ambiguous on where they land. Their music, their sound is just loud and raw, I guess is the way I would describe this. But Aaron does have copies of this on Beer and Jesus Records. Hopefully here soon he's going to get up a page to be able to sell some of these. What the hell, you know, they're sitting in a box. Might as well get rid of them. Thank you so much, Aaron, for sending that stuff. Awesome gift. I really appreciate that. And last on the VCLT pile here is from a David Anthony. He got a hold of me after one of the streams one night and said that he had a gift he wanted to send me. He said it was an album I loved, but I didn't own it on vinyl. He was sure of it. I'm like, okay, well, gave my address, and this came in the mail. This is Crystallogic by Manila Road, but this is the Roadster Records pressing, which means this was put out by the band on their own label. I mean, this is a pretty generous gift. I mean, I think he said he walked into a record store, was sitting on the wall, and the guy didn't know what he had, and he got it for a really good price. But I just got done talking about you, Aaron. I told everybody about the Madhouse record, and that hopefully you'll be getting up a page to sell them. Anyway, he found this. He got it for a good price. liked the album but didn't love the vocals. He thought I should have it, and this is a super, super, super kind gift. I never thought I would own an actual pressing of this without shilling out hundreds of dollars or $100 or whatever the hell. I mean, I look on occasion and these things go anywhere from 70 to 300 bucks. I don't know. Anyway, David, Anthony, thank you so much. So kind of you to send this. I really appreciate it. Again, this is the Roadster pressing. King Folly was telling me there were two pressings of this. One was the thicker cardboard and one was a thinner cardboard. This is a thicker cardboard. So I don't know exactly which press that is or what that means, but yeah. Hey, David. Yeah. Thanks again, man. I really, 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 really appreciate this. Super kind of you. You definitely knew what, you were talking about here. Cause I'm a big fan, as you know, by watching these channels, but again, excellent, excellent gift. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oops. I just banged it on the edge of the desk. Nice. But that's the VCLT stuff. Again, thank you everybody that were kind enough to send something. It was very, very nice of you all. And next up, let's get going on a bunch of CDs. I have a bunch here. Like I said, this isn't going to be a short trip. Oh, what is it sounded great. It sounded awesome on the stereo for sure. And I don't have the Black Dragon one. I just have the High Roller reissue. But yeah, David, I'm glad to see you're in here tonight. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get going on this. If I were to have done a year-end list, these two would have been on it for sure. Let's start off with 1914, Where Fear and Weapons Meet. They have 3 albums. I've got the last one and this one, and my hot take on this, or quick take on this album, is if Bolt Thrower and Hypocrisy were spooning in a trench during World War I, would be kind of the sound spectrum you're going to hear on this album. Excellent, atmospheric, dense, penetrating metal that you want to say death metal, you want to say melodic death metal, you want to say melodic black metal. They're ambiguous in what they really embrace here as far as a style, but it's a very modern produced album. The production is really strong. The topics are very emotional. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome album. Their last album was really good too, but this one might be a little bit of a step up. This probably would have been my number 3 of the year, number 2 or 3. I've listened to this quite a bit since I've got it. Kind of wish I got the vinyl, but I'm not paying out the ass to get stuff shipped from Europe anymore. I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, cool. I haven't gone through all the insert yet, Eddie, but you can tell that there's a lot going on in here, and obviously they're staying in the World War I topic. It's a lot of bands are doing it nowadays, but these guys do it with care and obvious appreciation for the topic. Great album. Like I said, if Bolt Thrower and Hypocrisy got together and made an offshoot band, it would probably sound a lot like this. Damn it. I'm dropping everything. Next up, German band. Did I mention these guys are Ukrainian? I don't know if I did. They're a Ukrainian band. Next up, German band that I've enjoyed since the beginning, and it's because they started off and continue to cultivate a dissection tribute. They're basically cultivating the dissection sound. Way better than Dissection did, and after Storm of the Light's Bane, because most of us do not want to acknowledge Re Chaos. It's garbage. But these guys are excellent. They sound a lot like Dissection, to be honest. I mean, they started off as a tribute to that band, and they continue to do so. They've got they do Night's Blood cover on here live. And yeah, it's been a lot of years since these guys have been active, and they're back. And again, it even looks like a Dissection album. All their albums do. They all have the blue and white Necrolord motif. I don't think Necrolord did this cover. I'm not going to sit here and read about it because I don't really care, to be honest. But excellent dissection tribute worship slash worship, I guess. And this is called a dying, oh my God, a dying wish. Stupid font. Can't read it with my old eyes. Good stuff. You know what? M85 Watain. I am not a Watain fan. I know that's not a good thing to say to a lot of people. I just think they're a wanted to be dissection, but they just weren't good enough. They did not have the riffs. I mean, they had the sound, and of course they had the dog and pony show, but never been a fan, to be honest. And next up, I always had a promo of this, a cardboard sleeve promo, and I was never going to throw down the money it would cost to get an actual copy of this until they reissued it last year. This is Vader's De Profundis. I mean, Polish death metal at its best. Vader are unrelenting stalwarts of awesome technical death metal. You know, you got Doc's exact perfect speed performance. Rest in peace, Doc. Peter sounds fierce. The songwriting on this is great. This and Black to the Blind are probably my two favorites. Here you go. Aaron's still trying to sell the Flower Traveling Band. But this is excellent. They released this on vinyl and CD. I don't know how limited it is. I opted just to grab the CD because I've got all the other Vaders on CD. To grab a vinyl now, it would trigger that thing in my collector brain that would then I'd have to get them all on vinyl too, which is God, it's so dumb, but awesome, unrelenting, perfectly recorded. You know what? Listening to this loud in the car, you know, the vehicle we have has a pretty decent stereo system in it. They did some shit to this. I mean, they must have remastered it and did some stuff because there's a few places where the sound gets really wonky. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. Let me know if you have in the comments. But there's like a weird digital wash in a couple spots, which I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't know if it was just a mastering faux pas or what, but also we've played a show with these guys. This is an excellent band from Michigan, Southern Michigan, Jackson, Michigan to be exact. This is Throne's Pestilent Dawn. These guys are super awesome. Very Morbid Angel in riff style. They have got a blast furnace, man, is the drummer. He is just a blasting machine. Sounds absolutely great. Vocals are, these guys are death metal, technically charged death metal, but with kind of blackened screams. This is really well produced. It's on Redefining Darkness, if I remember right. Yep, Redefining Darkness. This is their latest album. And they're a great band live. The thing is, they sound just like their live album live. They're just super intense. You could tell they really put in the hours to rehearse and play because songs this fast and this technical, it needs that. And plus, they play every fucking show in Southern Michigan. Every band that comes through, they're on the bill. Every fest, they're on the bill. They're out and about, which is, you know, more power to them. Throne from Southern Michigan, Jackson. Check them out. Pestilent Dawn. Awesome album. You know, I've only some of this stuff was sent to me by my buddy Azalar. And this album, this is a band I've always been curious about. It slipped through the cracks for me. I don't know where they're from. You know what? I'll look it up real quick because I can. Oops. All right. Oh, baby. These guys are from Sweden. And you know what? From the tone, I should have known, but this is Womb Bath Internal Caustic Torments. Always been curious about this band. They're one of them that has slipped through the cracks for me. This is a Pulverized Records version of the album, which means it's got demo and EP tracks tagged on to the end. So there's like 18 tracks on this thing. I will say, listening to it, it's really great sounding Swedish death metal. The songs sound really good, but 18 songs, about midway through, I started to get kind of tired of it. Not a lot of variation or depth in between tracks, but it's still cool. It's kind of classic. What year did this come out? It came out in initially in 93. So this came out in the heyday I agree on them. Let me get you up here. Some people like Aaron, the metal theologian, hates that shit, but like hates it when they add stuff on. I like it because obviously I wasn't there to grab the demo or the EP, nor am I about to spend all the hundreds of dollars it's going to take um to obtain them. But it's cool to get them all in one spot. I think when I spun this initially, I wasn't in the mood, and it just kind of drug on for a while. But I'm glad I got it. I'll definitely go back into it. Excellent heavy death metal, well done, well produced, awesome. And let's see where we're going next. Norwegian band Strid. This is End of Life. 3 songs. I have no idea I've got another version of this. This is off of Black Moon Records from Poland. I have a different version of this album, and I'm mainly keeping this because it's a different version of the one I have. This is excellent. Depressive Norwegian black metal. This is a band that didn't someone in this band kill themselves? I don't know. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat here. It's kind of hard to do it when there's no one else talking. Anyway, well done, excellence. Norwegian depressive black metal. It's got that really melodic but dissonant sound. The version I own, has got a bunch of other tracks tagged onto it, but this is just 3 songs. Very cool though. Check out Strid if you're into Norwegian black metal. And sticking with Norway, we've got Cadaver with Edders and Bile. Edder and Bile. I've listened to this once, and my quick take on this thing is this is a band that is really over the years just trying to find its place and hasn't found its place. Instead, has kind of followed the trend. But they're always late to the party. You know what I'm saying? Their first, they did a split early on with Carnage. Messy, cool death metal. Their In Pains album, their debut full length. I think that's a full length. The first one was not a full length. Technical death metal, clean, technical, very busy, but well done death metal. Again, it kind of hit during a time where that shit was kind of passing by. Now we've got this one, Edder and Bile. It's been years and years since they put out an album, and this is them trying to be somewhat modern black metal. Again, it's fine to change it up. They try to change it up and offer something new, I suppose, but they're always late to the party. Like I said, I'm repeating myself because I don't edit. But anyway, this is okay. This is just okay. It didn't do much to excite me, I guess. I'll probably spin it a couple more times to make sure, because my initial reaction on a lot of stuff, unless it really kicks my ass, is pretty lackluster. And this is a lackluster release for me. Even the cover is kind of dumb. Check out that picture there. Oh, Ephil. He's got a crown of thorns. He's angry. I don't know. That's a big meh for me. This one is 2019's Born to Perish by Destruction. Listen to this twice. It's pretty damn good. I was kind of surprised. Is it anything like their old stuff? No. It's modern Destruction. Just trying to write good songs. They kind of stick to their sound a little bit. They're a little more polished. This, I believe, is the last album with Mike on it. God damn it, busted spine. I don't have a lot to say. It's just modern Destruction. The songs didn't bug me. The pacing was pretty good. The songwriting kept me interested. Yeah, check it out. David, it's a good album, but again, I find myself never returning to it. It's really weird. It is, Nick. I would agree. This is a pretty decent album. I was interested the whole time, whereas there's been other stuff in their catalog that I was either really anxious for it to end or would turn it off before it was done. their first comeback album, fuck. Oh my god, my brain is old and dumb. Hold on. What was the name of their um All Hell Breaks Loose? I really liked that. I thought that was they came out in 2000. I thought that was a band trying to reclaim their early sound, their heyday. And after that, there's some good albums. The Antichrist was pretty good. And there was some other stuff that was pretty good, but yeah, I'll help. Thanks, Michael. Um Enjoyed it. Not getting rid of it. That's for sure. Next up, this was in the box, in the Zoller box, and I had this on tape back in the day. Always been a Kiss fan, and had to follow, certain members after they leave and check things out. And having not heard this band in decades, it's been a long time since I was a teenager. This is basically Vinnie Vincent with his backup band is the band that went on to be Slaughter. The glam band. This album is fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Over the top. The solos on here are just it, it's completely overblown set on 11. It's like if they're even real, I would be amazed. If he could ever play these solos again live, I would be amazed. It's just over the top insanity wanking. The songs are okay. It's kind of glammy, but with a little bit of a punch. I don't hate this, but I just listen to it, shake my head, and laugh. I mean, there's a couple videos online, like actual videos that were on MTV during this era when this came out. Yeah, exactly. The band members basically kicked Vinny out of his own solo project. Yeah. Um, it's just ridiculous, man. I'm keeping this just for the fact that it's fucking hilarious, and I'll put it on occasion and just laugh at the solos. What a fucking nightmare. It's like I was held back forever in Kiss. I am now going to play all the notes at the same time. That's exactly what this is, with a croony singer and whatnot. This album I've listened to once and I liked it. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was other than black metal. This is Winter Eternal, Land of Darkness. I know there's a new album out, I believe, where there's a bunch of horses drawing a chariot. Looks kind of like a dissection album cover. I think this is the same band. This is on Hell's Headbangers. Really well done black metal, well recorded. Again, you got the blue and white. When it's snow, it's blue and white, man. Yep. Buckethead kind of, you know what? I've got friends around here that are big Buckethead fans, and I can't be serious to listen to some guy that's wearing a fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket on his head. I do not give a fuck about Buckethead. But I would imagine, you know what? Vinnie Vincent is probably 50 times more over the top and insane than Buckethead. I could be wrong. Buckethead is probably experimental, trying to be artistic. Vinnie Vincent was just trying to, like I said, play all the notes all at once. Yeah, there's a bit of a buzz about this Winter Eternal, and I listened to it once and I listened to it during a time I wasn't in the mood to listen to black metal, and I still enjoyed it. So that's usually a good telltale sign that I'm going to keep an album and return to it. This is pretty damn good for sure. Here's another one I've listened to once, a band that I've had albums from in the past. I think Aaron, I sent you their debut, which really sucks actually, but this is Portrait, Burn the World. This album is not their first album was garbage, them trying to be Merciful Fate with a really piss poor singer. This is really well written, traditional metal with a little Merciful Fate tinge in the guitar work. I was quite impressed with this album. The songwriting is really good. It's amazing to me. These guys have been on Metal Blade for a lot of years. They must sell enough copies to maintain their contract with Metal Blade. So I think Metal Blade is notorious. If your sales aren't up to their expectations, you are bye-bye. So they're still crushing along, following their contract. Cool cover. Good traditional metal. Really enjoyed this one. Made me a little more interested to check out some other. I think I've got one other Portrait CD that was good as well. I don't remember the name of it. It's in the pile over there. Okay, this one I do not remember at all other than it being kind of techie death metal. This is Altered Dead with Return to Life. Again, I need to re-listen to this. It seemed like it was pretty technical. This is a two-piece band, guy handling guitar, bass, vocals, and a drummer, and some vocals, some keyboard stuff. Well, Portrait's big here in Europe. That is why they're still on Metal Blade. Portrait's last one is really good. I like most of their stuff, but the new one is probably their best. I'm assuming this is the new one. Came out in shit, I can't. 2017. Anyway, Altered Dead. This is one I need to revisit, to be honest. It went in the keep pile, which means it was good. I just probably wasn't in the mood for it. I remember it being somewhat techy and interesting. I will definitely go back to this. Is dissonant. Okay, Jam and John said Altered Dead is dissonant. Cool. All right, into a bunch of shit that no one's going to want to hear me talk about. But guess what? Tough shit, because you're here and we're here together. First up, I've always wanted this on vinyl. I've got all the early stuff on vinyl. Was never willing to pay the price. So I found it on CD and went, well, that's a good price. I'm buying that. So I got Halloween's live in the UK, only to find out it was brand new in this shitty fucking digipack. So this is either a bootleg or it's got a code on it, the UPC, but that even looks sketchy, like it's been scanned. I don't know. This is a really piss poor recreation of the CD, I'm assuming. But it allowed me to hear the full set. I think parts of this were used on the I Want Out single. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was recorded in Scotland, but this is the full set. Yeah, it's a shame it isn't longer, but I had to have it, and I ended up getting this little slimline digipack fucking thing. It didn't really specify in the eBay listing that that's what this was. So until I get the vinyl, this is a placeholder for sure. Hell's Headbangers here a month or so ago had this bootleg in their catalog. This is a keeper of Winterthur live in '88. It's a pretty well done bootleg, a 2 CD bootleg. There's 13 songs on it, a full set. The sound is really good. It's not a soundboard, but it's over the air, but you can hear everything. It's clear. They're not working with a ton of distortion or high speed, so over the air recordings tend to be a little more discernible. But yeah, this is kind of a cool purchase. Again, not something I'm going to spend a lot, but it's Halloween live in '88, which is kind of their heyday, I suppose. And from the Pumpkins Fly Free Tour, 1988. Yeah, Devin, believe it or not, I like Halloween. So, yep, I saw it. It was there. You see it, you buy it. I had to grab it. It's cool. It sounds good. And this batch here, I'm just going to wing through. Matt from Dive Bomb Records, if you get on his list, he sometimes acquires the collections, and he sends people on his email list, the list of things. And there was a bunch of cheap stuff that I grabbed. I mean, there's a lot that isn't here that I'm not talking about today, but I figured since I was talking about Halloween, we would go through these really quick. This is a CD single, Halloween's Kids of the Century. Came out around the Pink Bubbles Go Ape era. It's got Kids of the Century, Blue Suede Shoes, and Shit and Lobster. So a couple exclusive tracks to this. Well, and of course the vinyl. Pretty cool. They got this, If I Could Fly, from the Dark Ride single. It's got If I Could Fly, Deliver Us from Temptation, and If I Could Fly, the extended version. These are all I'm listening to once or twice and throwing on the rack. Next up, Perfect Gentleman CD single. One of those slimline deals. This has got Perfect Gentleman, Cold Sweat, which is a Thin Lizzy cover. Silicon Dreams and Grapow's Malm Suite. Basically a Roland Grapow guitar instrumental thing. Pretty cool to have. And next up, Halloween's Power single. This has got Power, We Burn, Rain, and Walk Your Way. Pretty cool. I got all these for like $5 or $6 a piece. They were worth it for that for sure. And then in the same token, I also got pretty cheap this Gamma Ray Heaven Can Wait single. This has got Heaven Can Wait, Who Do You Think You Are, Sail On, Mr. Outlaw, and Lonesome Stranger. It's actually pretty lengthy, a lengthy single. Some good stuff on it. Ralph Sheepers, however you say his name. That era, very cool to have. Glad to have it. There's that. See, that didn't hurt anybody, did it? Yeah, man. Andy, Matt from Dive Bomb is pretty damn awesome. Good dude. And when he gets collections, he sells stuff at reasonable prices. I mean, it's not the rapey price at all. Next up, another thing from Mr. Zoller. This is good to have this on CD. Malevolent Creation, The 10 Commandments. This is honestly the only Malevolent Creation album I really give a shit about. I have not dissected their entire catalog. I've heard a couple albums here and there, but this is the one to me that always seemed the most vital, the most they seem the most vicious on. The songwriting is really good. I am not entirely sure. This is probably a Russian bootleg, to be completely honest. It just has that look about it. The coloring is a little, but it's cool. I just have the tape I bought when it came out, and this is the only thing I ever really pursued. I had that Joe Black CD for a while. I've had it twice, actually. I've given it to friends every time, but okay, let me catch up with these real quick here. Devin says, favorite, but Retribution rules. Also, I agree. I wish. They're best in my opinion. Me too. Oh, the last Malevolent album did not leave much to be desired. You know what? I just stopped caring after this album, and they're come to find out they're kind of dipshit knuckleheads on top of it, which makes it even harder to appreciate the talent, for me anyway. Okay, here's another band I don't know a hell of a lot about, other than it's a hardcore person coming into the more death metal arena and making an album that everybody seemed to like. This is Innumerable Forms with Punishment in Flesh. This is okay. This is pretty good, man. It's really doomy, kind of slow, doomy death metal. I liked it. I listened to it twice. I don't get the buzz. I don't get why people are super, super psyched about it, but I liked it. Fuck. Sorry. I thought it was good. Again, I don't know which hardcore band this guy came from, but it seems to be a thing. A lot of the hardcore crews are drifting over into metal territory for some reason, but that's fine. All are welcome. This is decent. Like I said, doomy death metal, kind of in the vein of a lot of stuff coming out these days. This is on Profound Lore. Decent. Here we go. David says Innumerable Forms is fine, but literally every member involved has a project that absolutely smokes it. Yeah, I have no idea who's in it. Yeah, I mean, I do too, Nick. It's not a bad album at all. It just okay. Main dude is in that Dream Unending. That Dream Unending, I've listened to that, previewed it online. That's good shit. Again, it's a doomy death metal, but it's a lot more creative, I think, and inspired than this Innumerable Forms. Next up, let's go to a classic thrash band, Blood In, Blood Out by Exodus. I'm late to the party on this one. I just got this last year, mid-year. I figured it would always be available. They're a big band, and I haven't rushed to get their new one yet. And there's a few albums. I don't have any of the Dukes era, but this is okay. It's kind of long, but the riffs are good, really well produced, hard hitting, very thrash. Zetro sounds a little strained, but he's hanging in there. He's doing good. He's keeping the high end screechy style moving and alive. Listen to this a few times. I don't love it. It's not going to take me away from, Pleasures of the Flesh or Fabulous Disaster, but good album. Another couple these next couple are also Zoller gifts. This was in the Zoller box. Deicide, The Stench of Redemption. I will say, I was kind of surprised how much I liked this album. I had Deicide to a certain extent, to a certain point, I stopped buying their stuff. I think it was after Serpents of the Light. That album, Once Upon the Cross was good. Serpents of the Light was okay. I started getting real sick of it. Not a lot of depth or dimension in the songs, especially their first album to me is their best. Legion is a close second, but the first album is perfect. But this is good. I was quite surprised how good this is. I don't know. Oh yeah, this has got that the guy that passed, Ralph. Yep, Ralph Santella is on this, and so is Jack Owen. So you've got really tasteful guitar solos and some more interesting riffs. The riffs aren't, just standard Deicide. There's a little bit of feel and memorability, an old school memorable note bit to them. Yeah, the solos on here are great, Lance. Good stuff. I'm surprised. It kind of makes me, am I going to go run out and buy all the new Deicide shit? I'm not, but if I see it turn up in a used bin, I'll probably pick it up knowing how good this album is. I was pretty surprised how good it was. It was about the right length, and the songs were all well paced, hard hitting. Glenn sounded good on it. This is another band that I know my cohort Alan is big into these guys. And this is okay. It's okay. I don't get the hype. Again, this is Bewitcher, Cursed Be Thy Kingdom. Again, it's kind of campy, rock and rollish type black metal. If you're like R Noir, who I actually like R Noir quite a bit. Midnight, bands like that. This is well done, well recorded. It's good. It's on Century Media. Yep, Century Media. I just was a little underwhelmed, man. I don't get the fuss. I think it's kind of been done before. I mean, these guys aren't reinventing the wheel, and they're writing decent songs, but it just isn't saying much, and not that it needs to be original and say a lot of stuff. I don't know. I've listened to it a good 3 times trying to put my finger on why people are so excited about this, but it's a cool ass album cover though. That thing is pretty fucking sweet. But yeah, this is just so. I don't know if I'm going to keep this yet or not, but I'm glad to have heard it, because if I've been pulled to buy it on occasion. Like a lot of people that I respect their opinions saying how much they enjoy it, which is great. I get why people like it. It's really catchy, but it's just not for me, I don't think. Okay. We're going to get out of the CDs here in a minute, but I think these guys are Greek. Let me check. I don't want to come off here giving you stupid information. I do that too much. Oh, no, I'm so wrong. Switzerland. This is Megaton Sword with their first EP, Neuralet. I don't know. Gotta say, this is one band I've kind of drank the Kool-Aid on as in the hype. I like this band a lot. This is really good. Strong, epic metal. This album is a little bit better. This is Blood Hails Steel, Steel Hails Fire, which is coincidentally the best song on this album, and it's the lead-off track. This is a band who's got a very unique singer. It's funny. I was taking my buddy Chris home from band practice. I was playing this and ranting and raving how much I enjoyed it, and he kind of looked off into the distance and said, "This reminds me of the Deftones." And I'm just kind of like, "What did you just say?" I'm not a Deftones fan. I couldn't tell you a single Deftones song, but him saying that kind of curdled my milk a little bit, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is really good epic metal. The one thing that really sucks is they've got 2 guitar players. The solos on here they leave a lot to be desired. If they had a guitar player that was a shredder, they could write and compose a good solo that sat alongside. The music by nature is very primitive, simplistic, but there's a lot of power and really interesting hooks woven to the songs. What would really bring them over the top is a really good solo. The solos on here are just kind of, I mean, I'm not a solo guy, but I could probably come up with better solos. I don't know. I'm just saying better soloist, but you could tell they know they have a unique, good, strong singer, and I think they leave the songs somewhat minimal so he can do atypical things over the top of those songs. I think the songs on here are very the way he places words over the rhythms is very atypical, and it makes this stuff very interesting to me. Both of these are excellent. The EP is even really good. I don't know if they've got anything else. You know what? I got their page up. No, these are the only two. They don't even have a demo listed on Metal Archives. They came out with the EP. So yeah, definitely a band. If you're into epic heavy metal, I would highly recommend these guys. I know I turned Alan on to buying him and he wasn't impressed. He did not care for it that much. So it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of like the King Diamond syndrome, the weird vocals. People either like it or they fucking hate it. I don't know if there's a lot of middle ground, but I think these guys are awesome. Okay. The rest of this is vinyl. Where are we at here? How long have I been rambling? Almost an hour. See, this would have taken me a week to upload. Next up, we've got Agnostic Front with Liberty and Justice. For All. This is when Agnostic Front to me starts to embrace a little bit more of a metal, which is fine. It's good. This is the last one of theirs that I've investigated and really like. Roger's vocals start to get a little bit strained after this, and he starts to get a little strained on here too. The way he sings is really strange. He's like belches out the songs. I mean, this is New York hardcore with a little bit of metal backbone to beef up the street brawling side of it. I like this album a lot. I picked this up somewhere for pretty cheap. I was psyched to get it. Always had a dub of it, so it was cool to finally get it. Similar hardcore style. We've got Michigan's Negative Approach with Tied Down. This is a touch and go pressing. Got this used at Vertigo Records in Grand Rapids for cheap. Well, $10, but still cheap. These guys are super aggressive Detroit hardcore. Not much more to say than that. They put out a lot of singles and stuff like that, and they're still active. They're playing a bunch of shows and fests, but I don't think they're putting out new music. They haven't in some time. There's a anthology CD you can get with all of their shit on it, which is quite good. If you're into aggressive hardcore, I would recommend getting Negative Approach's discography CD. It's very cool. And this was cheap, it was in front of me, so I bought it because I am collector scum. Next up, Southern California death metal magicians. Amazing band, Sadistic Intent. This is a bootleg, Impending Doom and Before the Conflict. This is on Reek of Death Records. I think these are white vinyl. Got this from Hell's Headbangers. This has got the Impending Doom mini LP. Oh no, the record just rolled out. White vinyl. Fucking clown shoes over here. This has got the Impending Doom mini LP, Conflict Within Demo 89, A Calm Before the Storm EP 91, split with Ungod 7-inch in memory of Celtic Frost track with Return to the Eve, Gateway to Hell, a tribute to Slayer with the song Necrophiliac, and Live in Bucharest, Romania 2016. So this is a very cool bootleg compilation of stuff. The sound on it is pretty damn good. I don't regret buying it. There's newer, they were always supposed to put out the second Coming of Darkness, and they've had a million excuses over the years why it wasn't coming out. I don't know, man. This day and age, if you can't get someone to come over and record your shit, then you don't want it that bad as far as I'm concerned. But this is a really cool bootleg. Check it out. Impending Doom Before the Conflict by Sadistic Intent. Great fucking band. Oakland, California, coming at you here with Necrot, second Necrot album. This is can't remember the fucking name. Blood of Kings. Blood Offerings. It's dark in here. My eyes suck. This is a gatefold. I think it's a colored cover as well. Always found the cover really cool / disturbing. Power trio death metal band. These guys, again, aren't reinventing the wheel, but they have more of an old school slant to them than a lot of this newer death metal stuff. This OSDM movement, which I do like, don't get me wrong, but I say this a lot. I think a lot of it is more focused on creating a cavernous sound than actually writing really good songs. You know, the riffs aren't, but these guys are a little different. They actually write in kind of the old school fashion where riffs are the center, the main focal point. There's songs here, there's songwriting going on. They don't really thicken it up that much in the studio either. Live, I would imagine this album would sound fucking great live because they don't overdo it in the studio. Good, heavy, solid death metal. I think I like this a little bit better than the one that came out after it, but good stuff. I've bought this probably years ago when it came out, and it's just now getting filed. I mean, crazy. What's this? All right, these next few records. Some time ago during a Hell's Headbangers $8 LP sale, I went crazy and bought some shit. This is probably the best of the bunch. This is Sergio with Sanguinary Revelations. Sergio is a super group of Ash Thomas and Zenka Prado, who are also in Faith Extractor and Epitaph. Is that the name of that band? Epitaph. And we've got Vanessa and Billy Nocera from Razorback Records and Steve-O from Impetigo in this band. I think Vanessa and Steve-O do most of the vocals on this, but it's been a while since I've spun it, but it was good Midwestern style death metal. You could tell it's got the Ohio flavor to it for sure. I really actually like the cover on this. Actually pretty cool cover artwork. I don't know. I got this really cheap and it was worth it. Solid Midwestern Cleveland area death metal sounding stuff with Steve-O on vocals. How can you go wrong with that, man? I don't know where these guys are from. Horrified. This is Allure of the Fall. Oh yeah, these guys are from the UK. Allure of the Fallen. This is really pretty solid death metal. I got this for super cheap on that Hell's Headbanger sale. This was like a year or two ago when I got these, and they've just been sitting on a stack on the floor unlistened to until this last couple months. I've been spinning shit I haven't spun in a while, but pretty solid, heavy death metal. They're trying to fall into that cavernous style, but there's some riffs here. Definitely worth checking out. This band is Scythian with Hubris in Excellis. Another super cheap acquisition. I never heard of this band. It's actually quite good. It's blackish death metal with a bit of a Middle Eastern flair to some of the riffage. I put this on today, as a matter of fact, to remind myself what it was, and I ended up listening to the whole thing. It's quite good. I was quite impressed. It's I'm afraid it's going to get filed and forgotten because it's not a band that really jumps out, is on the tip of the tongue. But yeah, there's some definite melodic death doom stuff on that. Sorry, folks. I'm not even looking at I'm just trying to concentrate here. I'll go back here in a second and catch up with some of these comments, but pretty damn decent album. Check out, let me try this again. Scythian with Hubris in Excellis. And this is the last of that sale that I got. And this, I don't know exact. I think these guys are also Midwestern. This is From the Depths. Let me double check where they're from so I'm not giving misinformation. They're from the United States. They are from Cleveland. Yep. And this has got members Dwayne Morris, who was also in that band, Decrepit, bunch of other bands, Embalmer, a bunch of other bands from the. This is a fucked up album, and I really don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. It's weird. There's moments where it's kind of melodic and heavy death metal, and then there's moments where they're trying to kind of stick their toe in the black metal. The vocals kind of go up a bit, and the riffing gets a little more tremolo, dissonant style, and what the vocals match whatever flavor the music is going, whether they're guttural or higher up. But then there's like this weird melodic talking style. I want to say melodic, but the guy can't. He's not in any pitch or key. It sounds really kind of bad. It kind of this thing on the cover, I don't know, some dog. I don't know what that is. Kind of cool art, I guess. But yeah, there's like this out of key talking. He's trying to be melodic, but he's not in a key. It's bad. And it kind of again makes me go, this is, I don't know, is this serious? I don't get it. Again, there's some good stuff on here, but it's not a great record. What I paid for it was probably about all it's worth, in my opinion. But all right, we got two coming up from Transcending Records. First up is a classic Swedish death metal band, Torment, The Ending Quest. You know, I've had the 7 inches. I've had the CD. I've got the reissue CD, and I had to have the vinyl. This is just one of those bands that came out when Entombed and all the big bands were all the rage, and these guys kind of went under the radar, which is a shame because they're really good. This is a really good release. It's got a gatefold. I'm not going to tear it out of here. I think it's even colored vinyl, but you can tell the cover was taken from a CD or something and blown up because it's kind of pixelated. The logo and the font is clear, but the background is really blurry. See how blurry that is? But, you know, doesn't take away from the fact that this is a killer fucking record. Totally great Swedish death metal. If you've never heard Gorment, you definitely need to check them out. And where are these guys from? I'm going to check before we even get there. These guys are from Sweden, Dream Evil, with Evilized. Matt from The Dark Path was ranting and raving about this. I checked, he sent me a link, said check this out. I checked it out. It's really good, aggressive power metal. I think the band started off as a Dio tribute band. I want to say, I remember getting an early album or two when I was doing reviews for Maniacs, and I didn't care for it because I wasn't in the mood for that shit then. But this is a lot more aggressive than that. Actually, this is quite a good power metal record. If you're into that European style, check these guys out. I mean, I would say this is a good, there isn't really any flowery ballads on here that bothered me. It's just kind of aggressive, a really good, heavy power metal band from Sweden. Good stuff. Again, the cover looks a little fuzzy here and there, but you know, I don't think this was ever, I don't think it was ever put out on vinyl until Transcending licensed it from Century Media. So cheers to them for doing so. Although I will say my copy, this is like a really heavy splatter. There's like I'm not going to show you. It doesn't matter. There's so much splatter. There's like some skips on the record about midway through, which is annoying. I guess, whatever. Let's catch up on some shit here, shall we? Marty, did you ever check out that Expulsion LP? Someone posted as a comment on one of your streams and said it was basically a follow-up to Repulsion. I have not checked it out, Andy. I have not done so. I'm going to go back here a ways. Yeah, Mortal was the name of the follow-up Necrot. It's good. I liked it. Melanie says they're fun live. Then they're touring, you know, Road Dogs. So I mean, they should have that figured out. New one was meh. Unleashed, like Stockholm death metal. I don't know what we're talking about here. Terrible name. You know what? I'm probably gonna get that new Death Hammer album. I really like that band. I've got all their other stuff. They're a good band. Was it Vertigo Music before Christmas picked up a lot of metal 2-hour drive from Indiana? Yeah, it's a 2-hour drive for me too. I'm up here in Traverse City. I'm 2 hours directly north. It's a fun day trip, and there's always killer. I like going there because of the used stuff, to be honest. And they have a great metal section. You know what? Say what you want. Yeah, the names are bad, but that Faith Extractor band is really good. I've got all the stuff. I like it a lot. Uh, can't wait for the new Death Hammer. I agree. See that new Banger TV one thing. Oh, dude from Death Hammer's releasing an album too. Nope, haven't seen that. Death Hammer. Everybody's talking about Death Hammer. Good for you guys. It's good shit. Which album are you talking to? Albums flat out. Which one are we talking about? Named after that Dio album, Dream Evil. Yep. Okay, we're caught up. I just have a handful more here. Oh, look, you guys thought you were done, but you're not. I bought this thinking it was a CD. The eBay listing wasn't clear. I bought it because it's got bonus tracks that I have not heard on it. And this is Halloween 7 Sinners. This is a gatefold LP reissue from 2020 on Nuclear Blast. Gatefold, what did I say? Clear vinyl. People talk down on this album. I think this album rules. Where the Sinners Go, Who is Mr. Madman is a fucking banger. This whole album is great, and the bonus tracks on here are even really good. I'm glad I paid the 25. I thought I was paying $25 for the CD, but it showed up as a vinyl. I'm like, oh, kick ass, better yet, because I already had the original CD of it. But Halloween 7 Sinners, if you're one of those people that turn your nose up at the Darius era, you really shouldn't. There's some great fucking albums. Awesome. And what's next? Oh, here we go. The first Mortiferum on vinyl. Oh, Eric. Mortiferum's first album. This is Disgorged from Psychotic Depths. Check out that album, man. It's sick, but you don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like a blown out, rotten old butthole. I don't know, but I like this album a little bit better than the new one. Granted, I've spent a little more time with this one than the new one. Murky, sludgy, doomy death metal. Disma comes to mind. Ramen Noodle Nightmare, exactly. Trying to do frugal February and hold off on ordering shit, but I already ordered a Fudge Tunnel album after Marty talked about them on the Earache. Did you check that out, Andy? The Hate Songs in E minor album is great. And some of the early stuff, Fudge Cake is really good. Yeah, this is good. Like I said, murky, sludgy, doomy death metal. Nothing super outstanding, but good. Really solid. And I get why people like it for sure. All right, here we're gonna end on a tangent. I've been working on some music lately, kind of re-exploring my enjoyment of early Pitch Shifter and Godflesh and stuff, and been doing a little market research as far as oh, we're gonna do this one first. Picked up the new Archcoat. This is Worship the Eternal Darkness. This isn't what I've been doing market research on. I've got 7 or 8 Archcoat records. They all kind of sound the same. The earlier stuff is a lot more war metal, which is kind of a turn off, but there was always something there that interested me. And then it wasn't until the Apocalyptic Triumphator where that band really started to write good riffs to me. They started to really get catchy, and this is no exception. This sounds like the 3 albums before it, but it's really well written, sludgy, in the vein of Beharit, Drawing Down the Moon, Engram style, little blacker, I guess. Probably this is going to be a placeholder on the shelf with all the other Archgoat records, but I've listened to it about 3 times. It's fun. I like it. I'm glad I picked it up. I keep saying I'm not going to buy anymore, but a new one comes out and I eventually just sold all my Archgoat records. Yep. You probably got a decent price for them. I don't know. I like them. Eventually they'll probably get sold, but they're not something on my turntable a lot. But it's like Darkthrone. I keep saying I'm not buying any more Darkthrone because Darkthrone has been fucking me for years, but I went and bought another Darkthrone record and I wish I didn't. But anyway, we're back. I'm a fan of like the first couple Pitch Shifter albums, some early Godflesh stuff. And I remember this band from California called Depressor. Used to send me stuff back in the zine days on tape. I must have given them away or lost them, but so I went and picked up this Depressor. This is Filth Grace. Imagine Pitch Shifter with more of a crust punk aesthetic. Drum machine, sludgy plodding, affected, shouted styled vocals. This Filth and Grace is like a comp. You've got the Filth Sessions, which was recorded in 95, and then Grace, which was 97. A couple of their demos put on one LP. It's really good. If you're into early Pitch Shifter, check them out. And then they've got a full-length album. I think it's just called Depressor. Yep. A little more aggressive, a little bit better production, 6 songs. I mean, even you got the microscopic parasite picture. I mean, you can tell their influences are Pitch Shifter, which is, again, fine with me. This shit is a lot of fun to listen to if you're in the mood for it. Plotting, drum machine driven, hateful shouting with a little bit of effect to it, pitch shifters and stuff. Pretty cool record. And then this one came out. This is another compilation of sorts, compiling a couple of 7 inches, a demo or an EP or some damn thing. I do not remember when Pitch Shifter was on MTV Spring Break. That would have been fucking crazy. Were they playing live? Anyway, this here is Hellstorms Over Earth. And as you can tell, it almost looks like Away drew the album cover here. It looks like Korgel on the cover of Dimension Hatros, but Away did not draw this cover. Someone is just paying homage to his art style. This has got some 7 inches, a split on here, and some other stuff compiled. The band has changed at this point. They have decided to go with more of a death metal grindcore style on here. Honestly, I don't like it as much. The songs on here are just kind of a mess. They played, wow. I did not know. Oh, so it was more modern Pitch Shifter. I get that because they kind of went dub and really bad. After their 3rd album, they started to get really awful. But anyway, this is, if you're interested in crusty grindcore with little death metal flourishes, check this out. But Nick, you were interested in this. I mean, this is really good. The self-titled, this is really good. I mean, it's, again, early Pitch Shifter, like industrial and submit era, plotting, lifeless but crusty, industrialized death. Very cool. And in the same sphere, the same influence, is a band called Realize. This is their album or the mini LP called Demolition. Let me see if I can find out where these guys are from. I want to say they're from the US, but they're from Tucson, Arizona. It's a 3-piece. They use a Boss drum machine on this stuff. Of the 2 releases I have here, this is the better, sloppier, meaner sounding stuff. This is really good. Again, it's all drum machine, and it is in the Pitch Shifter, early Pitch Shifter vein. This came out on To Live a Lie and something Seaman Records. I can't remember. RSR. The S stands for Seaman. I can't remember what the other words there are, but quite excellent. Their singer is shouting. He's pitch shifted and affected. It's very cool sounding. I would highly recommend that one. And this one came out on Relapse. This is Realize Machine Violence. Cool thing about this is the cover. Cool cover image. You can see the UV gloss on it. It's like a circuit board over it. It's kind of a cool effect. This is also in the same vein. It is very much drum machine. They do not hide the fact that they use a drum machine. There's even a picture of the drum machine in the band photos. And the one thing that bugs me about this record is the music is really good. The guy shouting isn't great. He doesn't have a great shouting voice, and they did not put as many effects on the vocals to hide the fact. Yeah, Regurgitated Semen Records. Thanks, Eric. See, I said something semen. Right. But this is really good. I really enjoy this record too. I didn't like his vocals as much. They weren't as affected. And his shouting is just kind of, it seemed a little too out in front. So it needed to have more layers of shit on top of it. But Realize is a really good band. And yeah, I'm still exploring the whole drum machine stuff. It's a sound I've always liked. And it was a big part of my history growing up. There was never any drummers here in Traverse City growing up. So me and my friend Scott, everything we did had to have, or my friend Bob also, we had to use drum machines or sampling keyboards. So a lot of this style of stuff was a big influence always. So it's kind of been fun to go back and reinvestigate that stuff in some bands I missed. I would really recommend, if you're into that shit, to check out Realize and check out Depressor for sure. Black Magnet. Remind me, Eric. I will definitely check it out. But that's all I have. I mean, it's been a lot. We went through a lot of shit. And like I said, there's still piles and piles and piles of stuff haven't either had time to listen to or just didn't want to continue. It's been an hour and 16 minutes of me fucking rambling. But I think one of the next updates is going to be a collection update of electronic music. I've been getting back into industrial stuff again. So expect that. I'm sure some of you are not thrilled about that topic idea, but whatevs, man. Whatevs. We're trying to keep things a little diverse around here, and it's been great. Another band my friend Scott was telling me about, Eric, is I'm going to type it in the chat. It looks like Ghost, but with a K. Coast, I guess it is. I've been checking out some of the stuff. It's of that drum machine industrial metal style, but it's got a lot of experimental elements in it. And I know Justin Broderick, he did a collaboration with them as Godflesh and Coast. I think he mixed their album or something. I don't know. It's a band I've been meaning to buy stuff from. I'm trying not to go so fucking crazy. The last 6 months have been fucking crazy with all the shit I bought. But I want to thank all you folks for watching and everybody that sent in something for me to check out and have. You're too kind. Hope you've had fun. It's been a very active chat. I'm sorry. I can go through here real quick and before I jump. Where am I going to pull on here? Pitch shifter. All right. I want to thank you, Marty, for putting on the pitch shifter. Really cool shit. Yeah, man. The Industrial album and Submit are my favorites. Those two albums. The Submit EP is so fucking good. And the album afterwards, Desensitized, is also good as well. After that, they took a shit, man. Don't pursue after that. They like embrace dubstep, I guess it's called. I'm a sucker for early Godflesh. You know, my favorite Godflesh albums are the debut and Selfless. Selfless was their major label debut, I believe. It's really repetitive, but I love the sound and I love the songs. Justin's vocals on are really cool. I like Street Cleaner too, but that's kind of a given. Realize is so good. Members of Sex Prisoner, never heard of them. Regurgitated Semen Records, yes, thank you again, Eric. I think I asked you once, but do you remember Ultraviolence, Johnny something Destruct? I got some Ultraviolence tapes back in the day as sent in as promos from Earache, and at the time I thought they sucked. But That doesn't mean it sucked. It just means I wasn't in the mood for it, probably. So I can't I couldn't tell you a single ultra. I know Matt from the Dark Path was just talking about some of their stuff in our stream, and he might have even shown something on one of his updates. But Andy likes metal. I actually like later Pitch Shifter too. Early stuff is great though, and everyone compares to Godflesh, but I'm not really into Godflesh. You know, Pitch Shifter is comparable to Godflesh, but I always liked the early Pitch Shifter better. I thought their songs were more interesting. Godflesh was very repetitive. They went on simplicity and repetition and sound, whereas Pitch Shifter had that element, but they were more riff oriented. I just dug them. I dug them. Black Magnet. I'll try to remember to check that out. Black Magnet. Fetus Swans. Yes. $20. Oh, it's on. Okay. $20 spin. Obsessed with Godflesh. Yep. I want to do a ranking on Godflesh. I'm missing 3 or 4 of their albums. I need to investigate. And I thought they would be cheap to acquire, but they're not. Even the new ones are not fucking cheap. I'm like, what the fuck? Black Magnet is sick. Big Godflesh. Cool. I'll check that out. I still like the industrial stuff. Me too, man. I like it a lot, actually. Cool, Glenn. Yeah, it's not going to be anything really underground. Industrial is something I've always enjoyed, and a lot of the bigger bands from that era. But I'm trying to, when the mood hits, dig into some other stuff that people have recommended to me and stuff I've heard of over the years. I don't often like the super dancey stuff, but I just like I don't know. I like it weird and twisted. I have never heard Author and Punisher. I probably need to check that out. Ultraviolence is terrible. Okay, then remember. Oh shit. Deep dive on Candlemass. It could happen. It could happen. Don't know much about hardcore, just some Toronto and of course London punk. Thanks for taking the time. Jeff, you're welcome. Anyway, I've kept you folks long enough for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a long time since I've done a collection update. That almost felt like I forgot how to do it. And thankfully, the streaming service is allowing me to do so and not eat up my bandwidth for hours and hours and days. And only to have it stop halfway because of an outage. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if the brats have eaten a cord or something, but thank you all for hanging with me. There's still 62 of you watching. You're all gluttons for punishment. Cheers. We'll be back again soon. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know if we're doing anything Wednesday, but Friday for sure. And with heavy metallurgy. And thank you everybody for the support and hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. Y'all have a great night. Take care.